On the field, court or ice, you are on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's C-Wall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. See all that we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update, and I am your host, C-Wall, and I'm sitting here drinking an energy drink because I welcome you all into the world of training camp. Woo! Listen, have you all been keeping up with all things training camp and all of the posts on the C-Wall Sports and Entertainment page and everything we have going on Bowie Television as well? There has been a lot going on. We've not missed a beat, and we're there all the time. And y'all, yes, I'm drinking an energy drink and just trying, hey, everybody, we're going to get right into it because we have so much to cover. Definitely want to share an interview with you all and a couple other videos from day 11, because we are on day 11 of training camp. Wow. So you guys, we got to get right into it. And while you all are joining in, listen, the C-Wall family, the C-Wall team has jumped in. Say hello to Joy. Say hello to Mazdak, who is our chaplain and keeps us in prayer. Say hello to Darrell Lee Owens Sr., who is holding me down all throughout training camp. He is the photographer and videographer for Bowie Television. So want to say hello to all of them. And of course, you all make sure you say hello to Mama Waller, who also holds me down and keeps me in prayer when I'm running 1,000 miles per hour. I see so many of you all have jumped in. I was able to collect as many questions as I could. So here's how we're going to do the show. Are you all high-fiving each other? Are you all hitting the love button? Or are you all sharing this show with your Commanders loving family and friends? I see Arias and Eric, and I think I saw Damon. So make sure you're getting the Commanders family in on this. I think I saw Ricky check in as well. Listen, you all, we're going to give you, we're hitting the gas. So today I will share with you all, first up, if you have not heard or seen it already, the interview I did on day 9 with 2022 Doug Williams coaching fellow, offensive coach assistant, Tyree Reed Jr. from Bowie State University. He's a Bowie State graduate. He was also a quarterback at Bowie State when he was there. He was also a coach at Bowie State and other collegiate universities as well. So happy to have spoken with him. Then we definitely want to show you all a clip that you all are seeing for the first time that Darrell captured everything from day 11. So we're going to get into the interview. We're going to get into footage from day 11, and then we're going to get into some of the questions that you all submitted in advance of the show. Okay? In advance of the show, you all, as a reminder, this is a live Bowie Television recording going straight from here to television. You all ready? I think I am. I think I am. I think I'm ready. I also want to give a shout out to David Harrison of Sports Illustrated. He had me on his show, Locked On Commanders, earlier today. If you are subscribed to the Seawall email list, you will get that link in your inbox probably tomorrow morning. I want you all to see Dave and I hanging out and talking some Commanders because he is down in Tampa covering the Bucs. So shout out to Dave Harrison of Sports Illustrated. And thank you again so much for having me on and giving you all the scoop of what you've missed so far. So, all right, you all check in. I need a love emoji, a fire emoji, or something before we get into it. And I will go ahead and launch the interview with Coach Tyree. Hey everybody, good afternoon. Wrapping up day 9 of Washington Commanders training camp, and I am standing here with 2022 Doug Williams coaching fellow Tyree Reed Jr. Tyree, listen, since Bowie Television is a DMV based television network, you being from Baltimore, you being a graduate of Bowie State University, as well as a coach, former coach, I guess to say now, of Bowie State University. It is truly a pleasure to be standing here and speaking with you. How are you feeling wrapping up day 9 of training camp?
I'm feeling good. I think today's practice was good. I think last few days have been good. Overall, just excited about the opportunity. I'm looking forward to the future.
Awesome. So some folks may not know what the coaching fellow role is or what the process is about. So can you share a little bit more about your role and the overall process?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Doug Williams for giving me the opportunity. But basically, it's entry level to the NFL. For opportunity for young black coaches to get in and get some experience with the NFL. Learning how to do the day-to-day stuff as far as the data breakdowns, the drawing scout cards, running the scout team. So all of the entry-level stuff and just trying to assist and help out the coordinators and position coaches as much as possible.
That is awesome. Listen, I've read all of the glowing remarks that Doug Williams as well as Coach Ron Rivera has said about you. So congratulations again on that role. So wanted to get a bit into camp. So can you share a bit of what you have learned so far? I know you're working primarily on the offensive side of the ball. So what are you learning from Coach Turner, Coach Zampese, and others?
Well, the first thing I noticed when I first got here is the pace. Everything is business. It's not a lot of downtime. Basically a race against the clock to get a lot of things done. So that's the first thing I noticed. But beyond that, the terminology is a lot different. Everything is a lot more detail oriented. So just trying to learn on the fly and be as much of a help as possible.
So I know you're working with the quarterback, so you may have a little bit more knowledge of the day-to-day working with Carson and Taylor and Sam and Cole. So can you share a little bit about what you're really enjoying watching in each one of those quarterbacks?
First and foremost, they're great people. Each one of those guys kind of brings something different to the table as far as skill set. But, those are all great guys. They work well together, and then they put in work every day. They show up consistently every single day and put in work and, work on, fundamentals, work on the mental side of the game, and they come out here and execute at a high level. So very happy to be working with those guys, and the work ethic that those guys have, I have to have as well, just so that, everybody's kind of working towards the same goal.
Listen, Coach Reed, thank you so much. I know you are busy. We stopped folks right coming off the field after practice, and it is very hot today. Best wishes to you on a great season, and it was great talking to you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you again. All righty, Bowie Television signing off. Listen, you can hear the vibe, right? You can totally hear the vibe of training camp. There's a lot going on. Sometimes we're able to sit down with the players. Others, we're just catching them right off the field, right after practice. And of course, players are signing autographs, talking. It's always a lot going on. But special thank you again for Coach Tyree for stopping by and chatting with us. So check in, you all. If you are still engaged, there is still time to tag in your favorite fellow commanders family and friends. I see now we're going to do another check-in of fans who have checked in. We see Joe Harris of the Washington Commanders Lounge has checked in. I see DJ Bland has checked in as well. You all hit that love button. Get your folks checked in. And now we're going to spin. Now, this one is a little longer, so I want to give you all the opportunity to watch the video that Darrell has pulled together from day 11. So you all are seeing this first and foremost, okay? Then after the video, we're going to get into some of those questions that you all sent ahead of time, okay? So all righty, let's check the file and let's go ahead and share what happened in day 11 of training camp.
How do you think camp's going overall?
Oh, I'm loving it so far. I'm doing what I can, going out there making plays, and like I said, I'm just way more comfortable with everything around me, so it should be a pretty big season this year.
What to you would be a big season?
Say again?
What to you would be a big season?
Going out there and making way more plays than I did last year, so that's really the baseline for me, just going out there and try to do what I can to become an all-pro linebacker for this team.
As a first rounder going into year two, do you feel any pressure to deliver in a way more so than you did last year?
Not at all. I've been in this type of position before, and like I said, I'm just going to go out there and do what I can to make plays, and it's no sweat at all.
When were you in this type of position? Was it college before then?
Definitely. Going to Kentucky, I mean, coming in, you're not thrown in the fire right away. It don't go the way that you wanted to. You just trust the process, and then you get out there, and when it's your time, you step up and make plays.
I know he plays behind you, but Cam Curl, what have you seen in terms of his growth from when you got here last year till now?
I mean, his communication jumped to a second level nature, and it's just him as a player. He's just really fast. He's one of those guys that he's not afraid to come downhill in the box and make some plays. So it's always beneficial having a guy like 3-1 behind you. So.
Comfortable. So where are you seeing that play out here? How is that comfort level helping you on any plays in particular?
I mean, nothing too particular. I mean, it's just one of those things where you done seen so many different reps, and then you got a guy like Cole who's in that same position before, like telling you what to expect and what not to expect. So it's just picking up on different tendencies that's helping you play a lot faster than you did before.
And then the defense overall, and I think one of the words Ron Rivera has used a lot is humility. Do you feel like this defense has that, and how is it helping?
Definitely, and as a defense, it's one of those things where we're trying to set our own standard, and we don't really worry about what the outside noises are saying about us or anything like that. We're just going to go out there and make plays, and going forward, that's how it's always going to be.
There's been a lot of talk last year about the communication in the secondary, but in the back seven in general. How do you kind of feel that it's been different this year with all you guys back there?
Oh, it's definitely a lot better as it was before, because we have a lot more chemistry now, and it's just, you know what to expect and where this guy is going to be versus that play. And it's just one of those things where we just get a lot more comfortable around each other so we can play faster.
I think we typically ask Cole Holcomb about you all the time. So what are you kind of seeing from him this year? What are you kind of noticing about him on or off the field?
I mean, in both settings, Mullet Man done stepped up to the plate. So, I mean, it's good having a guy like that beside me to go out there and run the defense to try to make some plays. And it's just, like I said, like even in the film room, he's one of those guys that's been helping me take this growth to the next level. And just trusting him and just knowing that he's been in my shoes before is just going to help me and him both take our game to the next level.
What do you think the position switch, being outside, has done for your game?
I mean, like I always said before, I line up and play wherever they want me to. But, I mean, just going forward, just being more comfortable in my own skin and going out there and trying to play as fast as possible, because that's the key to anything, is just going out and playing fast and just trying to be a playmaker for this team. That's all it really boils down to.
And I know at Kentucky, as you referenced, that you had to kind of go through, you had to wait your turn and kind of wait. But how different was it being in the NFL and doing that kind of the magnified spotlight that comes with everything and being a first-round pick and all that?
I mean, it's one of those things where you've been in that type of position before. So, I mean, you just really just sit and trust the process, don't really doubt yourself, and just go out there and continue to do what you've always been doing and not really change it much about anything. And before you know it, it's going to be time to make some more plays.
All righty. So I know there was a lot of questions about Jamin that came through. So let's go ahead and get into the questions. I've seen some more fans check in, hit that love button. You still have time to tag in your fellow Commanders, family, and friends to be a part of this live discussion. I believe I saw Johnny Leon and Greg and Cameron Mingo. So let's go ahead and get started into the questions. We're going to start and do this for the rest of the episode. So if we haven't gotten to a question that you really wanted to know toward the end, I'll see what's in the chat, but absolutely want to get to the questions that were submitted. Erias Wright had this question, and you all listen. I'm grabbing questions and I'm going to put them exactly how you asked. And I'm going to put them on the screen, just like what you said. So everyone give Erias a high five. I heard Wentz is looking bad out there. Is it true? Here is what I can say. He looks great sometimes, not great good at all other times. Is he consistently bad out there? No. Is he consistently good out there? No. So that is the truth. It's he has his moments. It is literally up and down. For real. It's not at all consistently bad, and I'm being very transparent with the audience. It's not at all consistently good, but I want to acknowledge this right here. Exactly. I see this comment coming through from Terrence Brooks, and that is, it is a new offense. If you want to see these kind of mistakes, this is where you work it out. Let us be very clear about something. Training camp ends on August 11th. August 18th is the last day of training camp, and there's still a few weeks until the first game. If he's going to make those mistakes, make them now. Make them now so he can continue to work through this new offense. It is not going to be pretty in practice. So listen, first preseason game is August the 13th. He will play. Coach Rivera has not stated yet how long he will play or any of the players, but he will play. Remains to be seen. So, hey, it is what it is, up and down, but that's a bit of what we've seen from Carson in the past. So, not all bad, not all good. Kind of is what it is with Carson currently. Next up, why is Curtis Samuel still on the team? Adam Humphries is still cheap, available, and a proven contributor. Check in if you were at FedEx Field on Saturday. And that question is from Eric Jessup. Eric Jessup is, I believe, still in the chat. Everybody give a high five, a like to Eric Jessup to say hello. Curtis Samuel has a lot of promise. And when he is feeling well. He looks to be feeling well and wanting to be a contributor to the team. And Joe, I see your comment saying that you were there. So Curtis is still on the team because Curtis is absolutely an asset to the team when healthy. So if he continues to progress and he continues to be healthy, I think everyone will see why he's still on the team. Last year was his first year. Hopefully there's not a setback. But exactly what is here, to Russ McCray's point, he's a game changer. He just needs to be available. Listen, I told y'all last week there was a play when they lined up Jahan, Terry, and Curtis all in the same play. And everybody looked at each other after that play was over, and we were like, if Ron ever does that in a game, he is letting you know, I'm taking my chances with my receivers because they faster than every DB you got on your team. I trust me on that one. The speed is impeccable. And that is why he is still on this team. When healthy, you're going to see it and you're going to feel it and you're going to see the smoke coming up from his heels. Guarantee you that. Okay. All right. Question 3. This is the question I got the most. How do our linebackers look, particularly Jamin Davis? Listen, the team is still signing linebackers, so I think that would be a sign to you all that they're still trying to work through some things, okay? Which I see and I agree with. Where I have seen Jamin be successful is when he is on the outside. I think that is where Jamin's strength lies, when he is on the outside. He is showing his freakish, I can't even get the words out. I cannot even get the words out because I'm like, play him on the outside. Play him on the outside because he's just getting after the quarterback. You can tell that's his sweet spot. You can tell that's where he's great. He doesn't even have to think about it. He guns it. And I would love to see them play him on the outside because that is obviously where his strength is. And that is where he needs to go because then he's just going to go. He's just going to go with what he knows. His confidence level is building, as you all could see a bit of that in the press conference, which is great. So there's more to be seen there. So that's my answer. Like, again, let me reiterate. The team is still signing linebackers, so they're still trying to work through some things at the position. But as it comes particularly to Jamin, where I have seen him be successful, based on my definition of success, I don't know, who really even, and where it seems easy, and for him to just be the amazing athlete that he is, it is when he is playing outside linebacker. I love to see it, quite frankly. And I hope that's where he's utilized the most this season. Okay. All right. Let's try to whip through these questions. I think we got like 4 or 5 minutes left. How are we looking at tight end and special teams, kick returns, punt returns? Listen, question from John Adams. Everybody did I say to give Frank a high five, give John a high five? Listen, I felt really, really good about the tight ends. And I said this a few times since we've been in training camp, but the tight ends are dealing with some injuries right now. Everyone knows that Logan Thomas is injured. John Bates, they played him a bit today in day 11 to try to get him back into the fold a bit. But Cole Turner is dealing with an injury. Now a hamstring injury. Curtis Hodges was doing a bit on the side field as well. So I had a lot of confidence in this tight end group. but dealing with the injuries. So got to see there. In terms of special teams, what we're seeing a lot of, you're seeing a lot of Jahan Dotson back there. You're seeing a lot of Dax Milne back there, number 15, Dax Milne, and others. So they're still working through that. And we'll see what happens. So I'm hoping the tight end room gets better. But when you're already dealing with an injured Logan Thomas, John Bates having a lingering injury, and now Cole Turner and Curtis Hodges both look to be dealing with some injuries as well, that is very concerning because that's a very strong room. Shout out to Coach Castillo. Very, very cool coach. Next up from Bernard Plummer, does Phidarian Mathis and the other linemen show the potential to provide quality D-line depth, or is there a big drop off? And I stopped this because he was really referencing the big drop off between, from Ioannidis and Tim Settle. Let me tell you something. The D-line is going to be just fine. Just fine. They're going to be all right, barring any injury. Let me tell you something. Phidarian Mathis is also one. If you haven't checked out the interview I had with Phidarian Mathis toward the beginning of training camp, you can check that out on YouTube. Listen, Phidarian, yes, that's a great draft pick right there. And others, they're showing up. I call him Jacob P. And I'm looking over here because I got a roster over here. The roster changes often, you guys. 91, we call him the new Ryan Kerrigan. He's doing well. JSW is doing well. They're all doing well. So feel good about the depth on the D line because they're solid for certain. Russ McCray, everybody go and give Russ a high five. Kelvin Harmon, nobody is mentioning him, but I'm constantly seeing highlights of him catching bombs. So listen, Kelvin Harmon is having a really good camp. He's having a great camp. And when we start to talk about who might not make the team or who's going to be surprises, listen, he has been solid. He has been consistent. He is doing well in camp for certain. I just think there's been so much talk and wondering about Curtis Samuel's health, focus on Jahan Dotson, De'Ami Brown. There's been some focus on him as well. But Kelvin Harmon is having a very good, solid camp. So kudos to him. Could be a potential dark horse to make this roster because that's how great and solid he has been. So shout out to Kelvin. And that's a great, great remark because we even talked about Kelvin a little bit on the Locked On Commander show with David Harrison from Sports Illustrated. So we talked a little bit about Kelvin there as well. Okay, let me try to get through this. Any undrafted free agents that look good? One, I want to absolutely talk about that is kind of dealing with the injury right now is tight end Curtis Hodges. Really, really, really like Curtis Hodges. He's doing well. I'm going to go back to Jacob P., number 91, and I left that up there for a minute while I was staring at this roster. And actually, the roster I have on my desk right here for the show is actually old now. I get a roster every day. Curtis Hodges, hopefully he's back soon. Like him a lot, as well as Jacob P., 91, the new Ryan Kerrigan is what I like to call him. And so good vibes there. Is Brian Robinson going to beat out Antonio Gibson? Listen here, high five to Terrence Brooks, and I really have to wrap this up now, you guys. I'm going to say this. Antonio Gibson has absolutely got to work on the fumble issues. Yes, there were some fumbles last week and has been throughout camp. Brian Robinson is absolutely as advertised, you all. As advertised. Coach Randy Jordan has compared him to Alfred Morris and Adrian Peterson, and that's absolutely who he is. All right. You guys, I gotta go. I gotta cut it. I get in trouble when I go over my time. But listen, you all, Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep and stay locked in on all things Seawall, on all things Bowie Television. Keep those questions coming in because we're locked in on all things Commanders Camp. And guess what, you guys? I'm going to absolutely see you all again soon.
You're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's C-Wall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, picking any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. See all that we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.